It was all fun and games until PlayStation showed you exactly what was going to happen once Xbox goes third party. So guys, welcome to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about the repercussions and the future without an Xbox, which is PlayStation, charging you an exorbitant amount of money for your consoles. They didn't even wait till all of Xbox games are on PlayStation 5 before jacking the price up to $700 for the bare minimum. Oh, man, no disk drive. They're gonna force you guys into the digital. All the stuff you guys said that Xbox was gonna do, PlayStation is doing to you right in front of your eyes. And now you guys are upset? Now you guys are sad? Now you guys are mad? Did you really think in a million years after PlayStation doing what they did with PlayStation 3 was your friend? Really? No, man. Okay, let's go back to square one. You guys have been this whole generation. You guys have been downplaying Xbox, calling it garbage, when we all know damn well that every single game almost has been literally designed for PlayStation 5 and ported to Xbox. You guys have ran with the narrative that Xbox is weak, that Xbox isn't doing anything, that Xbox games are trash, or that Xbox has no games. Let this sink in. PlayStation hasn't even created a full-on next-gen game by one of their real studios. Insomniac doesn't kind of count. I mean, I guess they do count. I mean, obviously they could seriously build a next-gen game. But to give us Spider-Man 2, which is essentially pretty much Spider-Man remastered with a little bit of extra stuff. I mean, it still basically could have ran cross-gen, seriously. And to think that Astrobot, I mean, like what, Astrobot, bro? Really? Astrobot is their showcase game or whatever? Like their next, every single one of their games that are next gen only have pretty much just been like PlayStation 4 games that just look a little bit better. Yeah, Xbox has put out multiple next gen only games, and where's the PlayStation 5? You know, where's the PlayStation 5 first party Unreal Engine 5 games and stuff like that? See, this is what happens when there's no competition, or when competition isn't strong enough. Is the dominant, you know, like PlayStation or NVIDIA, they start jacking the prices up higher and higher and higher. And I mean, like, Nintendo doesn't even compete anymore. They don't even care. They're just like, we're just gonna make a switch. 720p, 540p, whatever. They just don't care. They build their system, and then they build their games to fit their system. PlayStation out here overpromising again. Now, I'm curious about PS5 Pro because of the upscaler, because of the PSSR upscaler. I want to check it out. I want to see how it's going to look and compare to PC. Other than that, I really have zero use for it. My 7900 XTX is absolutely going to dog walk the PlayStation 5 or Pro. So it is what it is. I mean, you're going to get a comparable experience to like a mid-range PC, which is technically not too expensive, but at the same time, if you really look, and I thought about this, guys. Like I've been sitting here kind of thinking about this after the initial FOMO honeymoon whatever phase wears off, the announcement, the stuff wears off. I've been thinking about this. PlayStation 5 Pro is a 4-year console. Maybe they do cross-gen for a few more years. Obviously, they would have to. That's just the way Sony developers are set up at this point. They launch all their games at the end of the generation, and then they got to port to the new generation and call them, yeah, these are next gen upgrades. And so maybe that continues through, and maybe more than half of the PS6 generation, you'll get these games running better. So essentially, you might as well just wait till PS6 and then buy all these games so that you can get the absolute best version without having to buy freaking a director's cut or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy to me that this is the world we live in with PlayStation, where the developers are literally a generation behind for the hardware when it first comes out at launch. Like that's crazy. I mean, it's always kind of been like that, but it has never been so apparent until this generation, until PlayStation games kept launching on PlayStation 4, well up until, sheesh, pretty much still currently. The fact that they want us to pay $700 for a PS5 Pro, when the original PlayStation has yet to even go down in price. In fact, it even went up in price. It used to be $399 for a digital, for an all digital. Now it is $449. It has went up $50 freaking dollars from launch to buy into the PlayStation Network, into the PlayStation ecosystem. Now, if you are a regular PlayStation fan like myself, you bought a PlayStation 5. Now, 4 years into the generation, the PlayStation 5 base model is barely cutting it. It is essentially a 30 frames per second console. If you want to have your visuals too, it is essentially 30 frames per second. Mark Cerny himself confirmed that with the presentation of the PlayStation 5 Pro, basically saying that, hey man, you want a PlayStation 5? Get one. You can have 4K 30 with choppy frame rate, blah, blah, blah. And nobody ever says anything. Literally, nobody ever says anything about 30 frames per second. And then, like, Mark Cerny himself comes out and he's talking about it being choppy. And I'm like, to me, it's kind of like, it's almost like slideshowy. Like, I don't know. It's like a micro stutter. Like, when you turn the camera, it just kind of... I don't know. Well, like seeing 30 frames per second nowadays, it kind of like does something to my eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, that's not cool. I don't like the way that's moving. But then you fast forward 4 years, and now PlayStation is finally going to deliver the PlayStation 5 that we should have had this whole generation. Because now the PlayStation 5 Pro is actually going to be able to play the Unreal Engine 5 games. It's going to be able to use the upscaling and all of that stuff. Like we're literally getting what both Xbox and PlayStation should have been launching this generation for the specific freaking engines that are out there powering our games now. This is the type of class of hardware we should have had at the beginning. I mean, anybody that's bought into the console generation so far, you've already seen the results of what you're going to get, what you can expect, you know, pretty much consistence-wise throughout the rest of the generation, you know, from Unreal Engine 5 and some of these other, gosh dang it, some of these other engines that are currently out right now. Like, you've kind of seen exactly what you're going to get. And now PlayStation, with their $700 PlayStation 5 Pro, that is essentially a 4-year console, that when it's said and done, there's no upgrade path. There's nothing. There's nothing. And if you've already bought a PlayStation 5, you're already into your PlayStation 5 at least $400. I mean, if you bought an SSD like I did, here's my rundown. I bought my PS5, $500. I bought a 2 terabyte hard drive when they were literally brand new at $400. So that's $900 right there for the PS5 Pro, or for the PS5. And now Sony wants me to spend another $700 on top of that. That's already $1,600 just on PlayStation consoles and memory for them. Then you throw in a $200 DualSense Edge. You know, that's $1,800. Then you throw in the PSVR 2, it's another $600. So you've got like $2,400 right there, $2,400 just on PlayStation hardware since the launch in 4 years. $2,400 in 4 years. That right there, my friends, is a top of the line PC that will last significantly longer than a PlayStation 5 Pro. Even if you went out right now and bought a 4090 PC for like $3,500 to $3,500 to $4,000, you're still going to save more money in the end, not having to pay for online, cheaper games. Like, you will save more money over the course of the run, unless of course you're that person that literally spends all that money on a PlayStation 5 to play Fortnite. You're gonna save money. If you are a hardcore gamer and you buy a lot of games, your best bet is to go PC. Seriously. You don't have to worry about paying $10 upgrade fees or any of that crap. When you buy a game on PC, it just continues to get better. If it gets updated, it usually gets updated on the freaking PC as well. You get even better stuff. The cost to owning a console right now, guys, is getting so ridiculous, it's not even funny anymore. It's not even funny anymore, the prices that these consoles are coming out at. Then this is just a prelude. This is literally just a prelude to what would happen if Xbox was no longer making consoles. PlayStation would not stop. They wouldn't stop. They would continue to raise the prices higher and higher and higher, and I kind of feel like they would do what NVIDIA does and give you less and less and less for your money. I feel like that. I absolutely believe that deep down in my soul, that without Xbox, PlayStation would run away and it would just get too freaking crazy. And I don't think that with the way the current structure is for corporations and companies like PlayStation and stuff, is their shareholders demand better and they want more and blah blah blah. So everything they do is designed to nickel and dime you for more money. It's not to provide you a better experience. It is literally to nickel and dime you. And they would just as soon spend $300 billion or $300 million a year on advertisers and, getting people to hype things up for them on YouTube and stuff like that. They would just as soon spend that $300 million on that instead of actually putting it into making your experience better. It's crazy. It's crazy, my friends. It is absolute freaking crazy the way things are going. And I kind of don't feel bad for you. I kind of don't feel bad for you PlayStation ponies. I feel like you deserve this. I mean, I've already bought a PC. I've already incurred the cost. I've already went through the motions of learning how to use it and all of that stuff. Like, I'm good. I'm set. I'm future bound. And now I get PlayStation games on PC. You guys deserve this. You kind of deserve the fact that PlayStation is going to literally charge you guys an arm and a leg to play PlayStation 4 games. At launch of PS5 Pro, you get to play PlayStation 4 games for $700 with a little bit better fidelity. And oh wow. After you kind of like sit back and think and let all this stuff sink in, it really does, like, wow, bro. Wow. You get to play PlayStation 4 games and Astrobot for $700 and hope that Naughty Dog, that Sony Santa Monica, that Ben Studios, that freaking Sucker Punch, that Insomniac, that all of these devs bring out another AAA quality banger after literally just getting Concord. That literally tells you that, like, hey man, whoever's running PlayStation right now is literally tone deaf, and like, how would they let that happen? Honestly, guys, if Sean Layden was still running PlayStation, I do not think Concord would have been the mess it was. I think he would have stepped in and been like, okay guys, let's read the room. Nobody is going to buy this product. These characters are going to turn people off. After they showed that thing, Sean Layden would have been like, all right, I think that Sean Layden is a sensible enough dude that he would have been like, no, dude, we're not letting that happen. Sorry, guys. I know that you guys are messed up in the head, and I feel you. Like, I get it. Let's make some money though, so that we can support our families. Whoever's running PlayStation right now, man, these guys they've lost the mark. They literally deliver and shut down Concord within an 11-day period, and then bring out Astrobot as their award-winning game and then they're like, hey guys, pay us $700 for a PlayStation 5 Pro so that you can play your PlayStation 4 games and maybe get something at the end of the generation in another 3 to 4 years. Because let's face it, man, whatever games are ready are not going to be the AAA bangers that you expect them to be. I mean, you're going to get more. I mean, you'll get Metal Gear, you'll get freaking, you'll get Silent Hill 2 remake. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, man. Like, I'm curious because of the PSSR. I want to see how it's going to compare to PC. But I don't know if I'm in just as big of a hurry as I once was to get it. Like, I was planning on buying this day one, like right at launch, but I kind of feel like I'm not really as, I don't know if I'm as excited about it now as I was. I kind of feel like I could just wait until I can like walk into a store and buy one at my own. Like I was gonna just try to hurry up and get it in November, but dang, man, I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, guys, I don't know about this. I kind of feel like PlayStation is yeah, dude, they don't care anymore. They literally think the Xbox is done, that they beat them, that they've won, and the Xbox there's no coming back. And they may be right. In terms of console sales and stuff like that, yeah, I don't know if I see Xbox coming back into the thing and like completely fighting and dominating a space that's literally hasn't grown in freaking 5 generations. I don't see that. I mean, if Xbox came out with a more powerful console and sold it for $500, maybe then people would be like, wait a minute, what are you doing, PlayStation? But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. I don't feel like they're going to do that. If anything, you know, I think we are pretty much at the mercy of PlayStation when it comes to console games, and I do see this bleeding over into the next generation of consoles, and I kind of feel like they're going to keep bleeding those of us that want to play on console. I think they're going to keep trying to bleed us dry until like literally they can't do it no more. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.